Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to Stamping School. We still have a few weeks left of Celebration, which is a gift with purchase. If you spend $50, you can choose something free out of this catalog. And they've added some extra goodies, and they are online. I will put the link below, but one of the things they offered free with a $50 order is this Songbird punch right here, which is a $19 value. It's a really nice heavy punch. And there's a coordinating stamp set in the annual catalog that you can get. Because you don't really need it. You know, you can make cute little birds without it. But the stamps are really nice to have. Page 31 of our annual catalog 2023. Here's the stamp set. The bundle together is $34 if you end up getting it after Celebration. If you get it before the end of February, you can get the punch free with the $50 order, which that's a good deal. Then you only have to get the stamp set separately. So the stamp set is cute. There's a little nest, there's a branch and some leaves, and there's this little guy right here for a sign. There's some feet of flowers, and there's actually quite a few greetings in here. Welcome, congratulations, you've got something to celebrate. A little bird told me. A note of thanks, it's your special day. So happy you're here. So cute little eyes and feet, things like that, and wings. And this guy right here is the belly for that. But you could use it as a bigger wing, I suppose. So let me show you a few little tricks with the punch first. So if you make a little template like this, and we punch this out, and I'm just gonna write the word template on here. I keep this because it's easier to punch everything all at once. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I turn this over, and then I get the stamps. And by the way, there's a small bird and a big bird. It's the big one that will punch out here. So we need the bigger guy right here. They're photopolymer, which is nice. You can see what you're doing. So if you put the image side down and the flat side up, that's why we're using the opposite side of what we punch. So we just punch that, right? That's my template. Turn it over. And then add your stamps in the hole right here. I'm going to do this one and the little wing. I don't need this to be the same color, but I could. It could be the same color, I suppose. So if we want all three on there, I'll show you what that looks like. This little heart looking thing is the beak. I don't really need that in the same color. So we're just going to line these up like this. Okay, this is an old school punch trick. Okay, and then put your block on top. There. Now when we stamp those all together, then they're going to be easy to punch out. I'll show you what that looks like. Let's do the blue. I'm using Tahitian Tide, and I'm going to stamp these all at once. That looks pretty good. Okay, and stamp it all at once. Good pressure. There you go. Turn this over, and now I can line these up and I can punch them all at once. So it's kind of nice. You just got to wiggle around a little bit, get it just right. There. And there you have all your punch pieces. Now, you don't have to do it this way. What you can do is kind of, you know, piece them out a little bit. For instance, I'm going to want some little yellow beaks, so I'm just going to take a little piece, kind of hold it in here, and I'm going to punch a few of these little yellow beaks. Now you can also stamp the beak and punch it out. It's very, very tiny. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference, so I'm just going to do the yellow beaks. And then if you want to stamp like the wing in a different color, or let's say you want to do the belly in a different color, you can just stamp the little belly separately. Like in orange, let's say, if we're doing some kind of a robin or something, then you can just slide this in here. Now that is a little too small, so what you can do is make a little handle. Well, you've seen me do this before, but you make a little handle out of a little piece of paper and a little bit of glue. As long as it's long enough so that the glue doesn't get caught in your punch, then you can come in and you can just kind of get little pieces here and there. So there you can do his little belly. And we can add the beak, which is very, very, very tiny. His little beak right there, and his little wing. And then we would stamp his eyes. Now there's two different kinds of eyes. There's one that's kind of closed like that, which is cute. And then they also have two little dots to make open eyes. Now if you're doing just the punching, I'll show you a little trick right here. Now can you see there's just a little bit of white along there? You can use a white gel pen, or if you want to, this is what I do. I've got my little black and white eyes. Now this punch does not have the eyes. So it only has the beak and the wing and the belly and the bird. So what you could do, if you have this deer punch, there's an eye right there. If you have the whale punch, there's a little eye. If you don't have any of those, you can use this. So this is a 1/8 inch hole punch, and you can punch a whole bunch of black and white. And then of course, if it has the catcher under there, then you've got a lot of eyes that you can work with there. To me, that's the easiest thing. So what I did with the eyes, and you're gonna want a nice small glue pen of some sort. Now, this is the one I got at the hobby store. We don't sell these, the Quickie glue pen. I like them. They're not great for big things, but they're really good for little teeny dots like this. Well, if you start with the white, do a white dot first. Same size, it doesn't matter. Put your glue down, a little glue down, right? And you start with your white and add your white. Now you can just take a black Sharpie and dot it if you want to, or you can take another dot the same size, the black, add your little glue on top of that, and bring it down just a bit so that you've got a little bit of definition. I hope that, oh, it's so tiny, I don't know if you can see it or not. But it literally is just adding just a teeny little bit of the white. Makes the eye look more realistic. And on this one, you can see I didn't even add that much. Can you see it? Just a little bit up there. So if you get just the punch, you'll do fine. You can do all kinds of things with it. You can even draw your own legs if you want to. So I don't know if you guys remember, a long time ago, we used to have this tall, skinny bird that had these funny little legs. Look, you could just draw your own little bird. You could make him kind of bent at the knee. Just do your own little, see? It's cute. It's just a cute little thing. I love these permanent markers, these Sharpies, and it's a fine tip. Oh, I love this thing. So you don't have to have the stamp set, but the stamp set's really cute. Okay, let's use the stamp set now. This is the first layer of what we're going to be making. And then we'll put it on the card. Now, one of the other Celebration freebies that they have right now going on that they've added is this cloud folder. It's very subtle. You can see the design on it, just a bunch of clouds and little lines across it. It is not a 3D folder. It's just your regular embossing folder. It will go between two clear plates when you put it through the machine. And it's so subtle, I don't know if you're even going to be able to pick up on the pattern on the paper. Yeah. Try not to make you dizzy. Okay. So that's the base. I've got a little strip of Parakeet Party, and we're just going to cut a little hill, just like that, right there. Now we're going to want to stamp their feet first. Okay, actually, I'm not going to glue it in case I mess up. All right, I'm just going to stick it there. We want to stamp these feet first. Black ink pad. Now the feet are directional, so I'm going to put one on each side here. One up here, one here. Right, so one needs to be facing that way and one needs to face this way, unless they're arguing, in which case then they can face the other way. All right, little black feet. We're going to put them, and put this one right here. And this one, because they're friends. So this one will go up here. Let's do this one a little higher. There's their feet. Okay. Now, when we do the, here we stamped this one already. That's going to go here. We have their little eyes reversed. That's okay. Let's put dimensionals on the back of this one. Now, the smaller bird, we have to fussy cut out, or what you can do, if you don't emboss this, you could stamp him up here and then move his legs up a little so you wouldn't have to cut him out. But this one is, the big one gets punched out and then the small one doesn't. So, all right, let's put some glue on here. I love the colors, the parakeet, and this is actually poppy instead of real red. It's just a little brighter. And then the Tahitian Tide. There's that one. I like that their tails poke off, and you'll see this is a smaller piece of paper anyway. This is 3 3/4 by 5, so I've got some extra room to play around with. So it's not gonna fall off the card. A little bit of glue on his wing. Let's put his wing here. It's kind of cute. And I like that the punch has a little white around it, which is cute. All right, the red one, I already stamped and cut him out. But he doesn't have any eyes yet, so we need to stamp his eyeballs. And these are teeny weeny little eyes. And they look funny when you're trying to stamp them. It almost looks like they have goggles on. I pressed too hard on one side than the other, so I'm gonna have to fix it. Otherwise, he's got one really big eye. Let's make that one a little bit bigger. There we go. He's a little cattywampus. That's okay. A little bit of glue, and I'm going right where the beak is, and I'm just gonna add this yellow beak right here. Like that, there we go. And his wing. Now I kept their little bellies white. He's got really big eyes, it's funny. All right, put dimensionals for him too. Now for these little notes up here, this one comes in the set, the little note, musical notes and a little note of thanks right there. But remember, we have the conversation bubbles, which I love. So I used a couple of these dies, and we're gonna punch out. I'm gonna use this one as another cloud. I'm gonna snip this part off, and then we're just gonna use one of these little guys for the other musical notes. I hope those carry over. I love them. These are such great dies. Musical notes, stamp those in black. And then this one, I'm gonna do a little note of thanks in the Tahitian Tide. I liked how it looked like a cloud that kind of matches the embossing folder. And we're just gonna snip off these little quote bubbles right there. There. If you wanna sponge the edges, you can. I'm gonna keep it kind of simple and just pop it up on dimensionals. Right here. Oh, I forgot his mouth, didn't I? Now you could just color that in, but it looks better if you punch it. Just a little bit of yellow. It's a daffodil, I think. And a little, it's easier to put the glue here than to try to put the glue here and get it over there, in my opinion. It's a little harder to do. All right, there's his little mouth. And the musical notes, I'm gonna glue this on. It's a little frame that goes around it. It comes all in one with the die. So the die, this one right here, will cut out this part, and it'll cut out the musical note. There we go. And glue that on. So I'm gonna pop this one up. I could have done a different color border. Maybe a yellow would have been good, just to make it stand out a little. I wanted to see what that looked like to put the yellow on it. It looks okay. Yeah, okay. It matches their little beaks. What you can also do is just color that with your markers. We'll just slip that over there and see how we like it when it's all done. And then add a few little bling right here, and then we can put the card together. I'm using a Tahitian card base, Tahitian Tide. Such a pretty color. I hope they carry this one over. And then if you want to make a little teeny, like a 1/16 of an inch layer, it looks really, really nice. Just a teeny little, so this is 3 3/4 by 5, so this is only 5 1/8. So it's just a teeny little border, which is really sweet. Or what you can do is just offset it a little bit. And it kind of gives it just a little bit more whimsy. So I think I'm gonna do that. And I like that their little tails are sticking out. And now as straight as you can make the white part, the white layer, and let the other one kind of be off. There. So it's up to you if you want a nice layer or a regular layer. Here's another idea that I started, but I didn't finish. I kind of thought that this was just a nice little, everything will be okay, get well kind of a card. So if you want to use the stamps in this way, you can stamp the, let me show you. You can stamp the branch. I stamp the branch first, down here. And then the leaves, these are the leaves. All this comes in this little songbird stamp set. And you might already have branches and leaves. You might not need it, but it is kind of cute. And then the nest, we'll do that also in the soft suede right there. But in order to put the bird in, you want to color this a little. Otherwise, you know, he's going to show through. So this is light soft suede, and just kind of color in a little bit just so that when we mask him, it won't look like it's a see-through nest. Just like that. So you make a little mask with your masking paper or Post-it notes. You stamp the nest and then trim it out. Okay, so we're going to cover that up just like that. And then we'll put a bird in it. Now remember, your photopolymers will stain, especially with reds, but if you clean them well, just clean them off nicely, and you can go to lighter colors. You can go, because they're photopolymer, so because they're more of an etched versus an acrylic, they're gonna retain the color, but they're also gonna stamp a lot better. So you don't have to worry. It's not gonna transfer red or anything. It's gonna look just like it's supposed to. Oh, minus the fingerprints at the bottom. All right, let's stamp the eyes. We'll do these little eyeballs down here. Aren't they cute? And a yellow beak. So this is gonna go on the inside of my thank you note. Oh, look, there's another, I got that up there too. We'll just put a couple more leaves up there. Sure, why not? Oh no! I'm gonna fix it. All right, I got the beak on. So now I gotta fix that. I'm gonna take the conversation bubbles, because I have it out, and there's a little love ya in there. We're gonna stamp that in black on another conversation bubble. There. And we're gonna stick that on it and cover that up. And then I'm done. I'm gonna try not to touch it again. There. Now I can put this on the inside. So I'll put this on the inside after I wash my hands. Well, I'm glad I picked this guy up free. I think it's cute. I'm gonna use it. And I'm glad I got the stamp set too. Honestly, I think they really go well. If you're gonna get the punch free, it'd be great to get the stamp set along with it, because I think you get more use out of it and can do more things with two birds looking at each other like that in different sizes. I like the feet. So I would say get the stamp set too. All right, we'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.